All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakakwadash. Double honors to our apostles and our elders of Great Millstone for teaching us His truth to rule well. And Shalom to you, Akim, out there pushing out this word in sincerity and in truth. All right, I'm going to go into something that's, been brought up a couple times today and yesterday. All right, talking about the Gentiles and, who is salvation for, which is something that we usually go into, every week, just in case, there's a brother out there that comes across, these videos and, doesn't have the knowledge yet, or just simply for re-edification. But let me start off with Romans chapter 9, verse 14. All right, because it talks about Esau, verse 13, as it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. All right, same thing in the book of Romans. It also tells you, abhor that which is evil and cleave to that which is good, which the Most High is good. All right, and everything that the Most High stands for on the right-hand side is good, is right, is righteous. So hated, misel. All right, misel, which is to hate, pursue with hatred, to detest, to be detested. All right, so Esau is the progenitor of the Edomites. Jacob is the progenitor of the Israelites. All right, they were the Jacobites. All right, but when Jacob was changed to Israel, his children are known as the Israelites. And then out of Israel comes the tribes of Israel, which is Judah all the way down to Issachar, which makes 12 because Dan was done away with as a tribe. All right, but the spirit of Dan is going to come back as another one of the tribes, because the Israelite comes back as an Israelite and an Edomite comes back as an Edomite. You see? So verse 14, Romans 9 and 14, it says, what shall we say then? Is there unrighteousness with the Most High? God forbid. All right, so not because the Most High hates Esau, Edom, now there's unrighteousness with him. All right, now that he's seen as something bad because he doesn't love everyone, which is a great thing that people get mistaken, thinking, oh, the Most High loves everybody. All right, but yet they're completely blinded to the fact that people get in accidents out here, man. Terrible accidents. People get in car crashes. People fly out of cars. People get hit by cars. Even in the work job, whatever workplace, you get hurt in your workplace. There was this one graphic video that I remember, where this dude is running a line. All right, which is a metal line, and his shirt gets caught in the line. So it grabs a hold of his shirt, and then it grabs a hold of him. All right, and it pulls him on that line, and that pulley, all right, is spinning, and it's close to the floor. All right, so this guy gets caught in it, and obviously that machine is going to overpower that dude. So it starts spinning him, and it's smacking that guy's head on the floor till eventually his brains are entirely splattered, man. And that machine is still spinning, and that dude is just dead. All right, just caught on the wire, spinning, and his head continuously splattering on the floor, man. That's terrible judgment from the Most High. So is there unrighteousness with the Most High because he made that happen? And it was a Jake, whether Judah or Benjamin, or a Levite, but it was a Jake. And that's just judgment from the Most High, man. That's just how the Most High works, judgment. All his ways are perfect. All his ways are judgment. That's why all his ways are perfect, because they're all judgment. If you judge between jumping across a gap from a building to a building that drops, 1,000 feet, and the gap is maybe 30 feet wide, and you judge before you jump, and you're like, yeah, I can't, I'm not gonna make it. That's a wise judgment, right? A fool is gonna try and just jump that gap. We'll see what happens. And they jump. Now there comes a thing called faith. All right, but there it also comes in mixed with judgment. All right, righteous judgment, discernment, which is given to us by the Most High, man. So when we say that Esau Edom is going to be judged by the Most High and he's going to be destroyed, that doesn't mean that it's not judgment. All right, that's not righteous judgment. Destruction can be judged as righteousness as well. See what happened with Sodom and Gomorrah. And it's the same thing applies to the Israelites, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and to the scattered abroad. You're going to receive that judgment by the Most High, man. And it's a righteous judgment. It says, verse 15, for he saith to Moses, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy, and I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion. You see? So the Most High will have compassion on whom he wills. All right? He will have compassion on whom he wills. And who are you to stand up to the Most High? All right? Who are you to stand up to the Most High, man? Christianity has not solved anything at all. In fact, it's brought more confusion. All right? But the one thing that Christianity did bring was a zeal towards the Most High. All right? And through that zeal that we've received, that only the Israelites have, all right? Through that zeal, we try and get that knowledge. And with that knowledge, we try to get that understanding. All right? And with that understanding, that's when we get the full spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, man. When we fully believe in the scriptures 100%. And then we receive that judgment and that discernment, and so on and so forth. So it says, verse 16, so then it is not of him that willeth, nor of him that runneth, but of the Most High that showeth mercy. All right? So if Paul spoke to Agrippa and he told Agrippa, I wish you were like me, accept these bonds, and let's say he did mean it, because Apostle Paul was a smart man, was a smart man of the Lord, a wise man, knowledgeable. All right? So sometimes he's going to say things to get out of it. Just like when he said, are you going to punish a Roman that was freeborn? All right? He didn't receive his American card, his green card. All right? He was born in the Americas, in the United States. That's the comparison I'm bringing forth. Some of the Romans were born free and some were made citizens. But the Apostle Paul, being an Israelite and being wise, he said, are you going to punish a Roman that was born free? That means he was born in Rome, in one of the great cities of Rome. So he used that to his advantage. Same thing with Agrippa. I wish that you and everybody else would be like me, except for these bonds. And Agrippa didn't find any type of bad in it. He didn't hear anything that, he might condemn him for. All right, because like the book of Esdras, first Esdras, all right, talks about the king. The king versus the woman, and then the woman versus truth. All right, and it says that the woman is stronger than the man because she made the king do things without even moving a finger. She would slap the king and the king didn't budge. Try and persecute her. She took the crown from the king's head, put it on herself, all right, and the king did nothing but admire her. Now, if a man would have done that to him, that man would have been put to death. That man would have been put to death. Even by insulting the king, he would have been put to death. Especially these prideful Edomites. You see how the police officers are? And those aren't even the kings. They're not even, in higher power. They hold a small rank compared to the elite. But even those Edomite cops, if you don't do as they say, what are they going to do? They're going to pop you, man. How much more somebody of higher authority, you know? So what did Apostle Paul do? He played it smart. He said, I wish everybody was like me, except for these bonds. All right? And that was the book of Acts. I believe it was 26, if I'm not mistaken. But, you have to be smart in this thing, man. But that doesn't mean that because he said that, oh, look, now he's gonna receive salvation. All right? Because Agrippa, an Edomite, did not receive the spirit of truth. He didn't receive it. He said, man, you almost convinced me. You almost got me. All right? Because this truth is compelling. And that's why the elect are going to be drawn to it. So again, Romans 9 and 16, it says, so that it is not of him that willeth, nor of him that runneth, but of the Most High that showeth mercy. So if the Most High wants, he can show mercy unto whoever he wants. All right? And the Most High wants to show mercy to the elect. That's it. It's written in Scripture. He's not going to change his mind. All right? That's just that. It is what it is, We might say, well, this Edomite is really nice to me. He's really cool. That doesn't mean he's going to be saved, man. Because it's not of him that willeth or of him that runneth, but of the Most High that showeth mercy. That's just point blank, period, man. It says, for the scripture saith unto Pharaoh, even for the same purpose have I raised thee up, that I might show my power in thee, and that my name might be declared through all the earth. All right? So where was the love in that? Using the Pharaoh to proclaim his name and to show his mightiness, his greatness, talking about the Most High's greatness, all right, whenever he led the Israelites out of Egypt. Why would you ever put somebody in power and just to curse him out? That's like a parent telling his child to drop the soup on the floor just so he can curse him out. To you, it might be pointless, man. But like Scripture also states, his thoughts are higher than yours. Your thoughts are in nowhere comparison of his thoughts, talking about the Most High. His knowledge is more vast than the sea. Your knowledge is barely even scratching the top of the water, man. Like Morpheus says, man, there's a thing, all right, there's a difference of knowing the path and walking the path. Just like Esau Edom, he knows how to make water. He knows how water is made, but he doesn't know how to make it himself. Yet the Most High creates it. You see, there's a difference of knowing the path and walking the path. All right? Just because an Edomite wants to be saved doesn't mean he's going to be saved. Just because an Israelite wants to be saved does not mean he wants to be saved. So Romans 9 and 18, therefore hath he mercy on whom he will, have mercy on whom he will, he hardeneth. You see? So if he wants these Gentiles to come in, but yet he said only Israelites are going to get saved, what does that mean? That means those Gentiles, all right, are actually Israelites. Because when you see the word Jew, it's predominantly talking about Judah, Benjamin, Levi. All right? And the Israelites, that means the 10 tribes, were seen as Gentiles, all right, because they followed after the ways of the heathen. So let me get John 7 and 35. Then said the Jews among themselves, whither will he go? Talking about Yahushua, that he shall not find him. Will he go unto the dispersed among the Gentiles and teach the Gentiles? Those are two different kinds of Gentiles. One Gentile is talking about the natural Gentile, which is another nation, which are the heathen. The other Gentile are talking about the heathen made Israelites. All right, the Israelites that followed after the heathen, the Israelites that stopped following after law, statutes, commandments, after Yahweh, after their heritage, that started following the heathen. All right, the dispersed among the Gentiles and teach the Gentiles. You see, really, the second Gentiles can be replaced with Israelites. I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. All right. Here is Matthew 16. Let me go to it because I don't think it'll let me do it like that. Matthew 16 and verse 24. Then Yahushua said unto his disciples, if any man will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. Oh, that's 16, Salakia. Matthew 15 and 24. But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Why? Because during King David's reign, you had one tree. The northern kingdom, the southern kingdom, all under one. And then in King Solomon's reign, you had one tree. The northern kingdom and the southern kingdom were still known all as Israel. After King Solomon, there was a split. You had the northern kingdom call themselves Israel, and the southern kingdom call themselves the kingdom of Judah, which was Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. The northern kingdom, which are the 10 tribes, were taken into captivity by the Assyrians. All right? And then later on, the southern kingdom, which is Judah, Benjamin, Levi, were taken into captivity by the Babylonians. Now, when they were in Assyria, the northern kingdom decided that they were going to, a group of them were going to get together and they were going to leave and they were going to go to another country where no man dwelt before, which is what? America, or the Americas. All right, northern, central, and southern, And then you had a couple of northern kingdom Israelites that still stayed in Israel. Tobit, Tobias, and then Tobias's seed line. And then the seed line of Tobias's uncles. All right, so you had Naphtali. You had a couple tribes that were still that still stayed over there in what's it called, in Israel, But the majority of the Israelites, the northern kingdom, they left Assyria through the small passage around Africa, and then from the coast or the coastlines of Africa, the Most High held the waters still, so that the Israelites can pass through. All right. So the waters were held still, you see, so that they could pass through in their boats. So the Most High, all right, led the Israelites to the Americas. But again, you had a couple of the northern kingdom that stayed in Israel, and then their seed lines later on became known as heathen. Why? Because they started following the ways of the heathen. That's why when scripture says, know that you were once Gentiles, all right, it's not talking about, you were a Gentile and then now you're considered a spiritual Israelite, even though you're the nation of Edom. That's not how it works. You see? So you have 1 Corinthians 12, and let me start off at 1. Now concerning spiritual gifts, brethren, I would not have you ignorant. Ye know that ye were Gentiles, carried away unto these dumb idols, even as ye were led. You see? If you're of another nation, if you're a heathen, then you're going to remain a heathen. But if you're an Israelite, you have that opportunity for adoption, which brings me back to Romans chapter 9 and verse 4, who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption and the glory and the covenants and the giving of the law and the services of the Most High and the promises. You see? So this belongs to the Israelites. Now jumping down to Romans 9 and verse 18. Therefore he hath mercy on whom he will have mercy, and whom he will, he hardeneth. Thou wilt say unto me, why doth he yet find fault? For who hath resisted his will? Nay, but, O man, who art thou that repliest against the Most High? Shall the thing formed say to him that formed it, why hast thou made me thus? Hath not the potter power over the clay, of the same lump to make one vessel unto honor and another unto dishonor? All right, and the Israelites were made unto honor. You see, that's why in 1 Corinthians 12 and 2, ye know that ye were Gentiles. Why? Because we're coming out of that Gentile state of mind. All right, coming back to our power, to our roots, to our heritage, to our power, to our Messiah, to what belongs to us, the scriptures. All right, this oil, this fire, you know, this belongs to us. You know, so when you have, you know, somebody that doesn't listen to the word, all right, they're considered heathen. But also you have Israelites that want to be like the heathen. This is Ezekiel. Oh, Salaki, I lost it. Oh, Ezekiel's over here around Jeremiah. There it is. Ezekiel 20 and 32. Ezekiel 20 and 32. And that which cometh into your mind shall not be at all, that ye say, we will be as the heathen, as the families and of the countries, to serve wood and stone. All right, that's the mindset of a 2/3. We will be as the heathen.